Have you ever felt someone staring into the deepest corners of your soul and loving what they found there, not just smiling at your posts, not just responding to your words, but truly seeing you? Thoughtful. Today, I'm going to show you the subtle signs that someone isn't in your life for the attention you give. They're there for the essence that lives beneath. And once you recognize this, everything changes. Most people chase attention, and many relationships are built on it. Likes, texts, compliments, they're the currency of connection, but the soul doesn't respond to currency. The soul responds to recognition, to someone who witnesses you without judgment, without demand. Pause. Notice how they remember the stories you barely tell, how they sense the moods you hide even from yourself. They don't rush to fill silence with chatter. They sit with you in it, letting your presence exist without interruption. You might even feel a strange sense of relief around them, as if your inner world doesn't need to perform to be worthy. That's the proof. Not in words, but in the quiet, consistent, unwavering acknowledgement of your being. When someone truly loves your soul, they are drawn to the parts of you that most people never see. They don't just notice your smile, your charm, or the way you look when you walk into a room. Those things are fleeting, and they can be learned or performed. What they notice is what lies beneath, the essence of who you are, the quiet layers of thought and feeling that you often keep hidden, even from yourself. This kind of love doesn't depend on entertainment or attention. It isn't satisfied with superficial engagement. They are not there to be entertained by your life or to gain validation from your presence. Instead, they are there to witness your inner world. The moments you feel unsure, the thoughts you try to suppress, the fears you carry quietly, these are what they are drawn to. They see the real you, not the version you show to meet expectations or fit in. People who are only interested in attention will celebrate your highs, but disappear during your lows. They react to what you offer externally, your energy, your performance, your visible successes. But someone who loves your soul engages differently. They are curious about your internal struggles, patient with your uncertainty, and respectful of your need for reflection. Their interest is steady because it is rooted in essence, not circumstance. It's in the small, unnoticed ways that this depth becomes clear. They remember the stories you barely shared, the moments when you were vulnerable, and the insights you have about yourself that you rarely voice. They connect to your mind and heart in ways that go far beyond surface-level admiration. They seek understanding rather than approval. This depth also allows for genuine intimacy without pressure. You don't feel the need to perform, to impress, or to earn their attention. You can simply be. And in that being, they find richness. They are not captivated by what you can give them outwardly, but by who you are inwardly, in your quiet moments, and even in your contradictions. That is the proof that their connection is real. It transcends appearances and reaches for the very core of your being, the place where true human connection resides. Unconditional acceptance is the quiet, powerful force that separates true soul love from fleeting attention. It means that someone sees you completely, not just your polished version, not just the parts that are easy to love, but every contradiction, every flaw, every hidden corner of your mind and heart. They don't try to fix you or mold you into what they wish you were. Instead, they embrace the fullness of who you are, even the parts you might think are unlovable. This type of love doesn't come with conditions or demands. You don't have to perform, impress, or constantly reassure them to earn their presence. They are not measuring you against an invisible standard, nor are they calculating how much of their attention you deserve based on your actions. Their care is steady because it comes from a place that values your being over your doing. Unconditional acceptance also allows you to be vulnerable without fear. You can show your doubts, your insecurities, and your mistakes, and instead of judgment, you receive understanding. They see your struggles as part of your humanity, not as reasons to withdraw. That creates a space where you feel safe, where masks aren't necessary, and where your authentic self can emerge without hesitation. It's also about embracing the tension within you, the contradictions that make you human. You might feel joy and sorrow at the same time, act with confidence yet carry doubt, or make choices that others don't understand. Someone who loves your soul accepts all of these facets. They don't shrink from your complexity, they are drawn to it. They understand that to love the surface alone would never be enough. The proof of unconditional acceptance is in the small, consistent moments. They don't celebrate only your victories. They remain present during setbacks. They listen when you speak in half-truths and silence, and they respond with empathy rather than criticism. They don't try to change your inner landscape, but allow it to exist fully, acknowledging that growth comes from understanding, not coercion. When someone genuinely practices this type of acceptance, you feel it in the way you relax around them. You feel seen, you feel valued, and you feel safe to be exactly who you are. That safety is rare, and it's the foundation for the deepest connections in life. It's not about control or performance. It's about presence, understanding, and the unwavering acknowledgement that your soul, in all its complexity, is worthy of love. Emotional resonance is the invisible thread that connects two people on a level deeper than words or actions. It's the feeling that someone understands you, not just intellectually, but emotionally, where they sense the subtle currents of your inner world. This isn't about reacting to what you show them on the surface. It's about perceiving the emotions that you carry quietly, the ones you might not even name yourself, and responding to them with empathy and presence. Someone who loves your soul doesn't need constant affirmation to feel connected. They don't thrive on your attention or applause. Instead, they pick up on the unspoken signals, the tiny shifts in your energy, and the nuances of your mood. They can feel your joy as if it were their own, and they can sense your pain without you having to explain it. That kind of emotional attunement is rare, because it requires listening beyond words and observing beyond appearances. This resonance creates a sense of being truly seen. When you are around them, you notice how your emotions no longer feel like burdens to hide. Your highs and lows are acknowledged and honored, not judged or dismissed. You might even find that you can feel your feelings more fully because they are reflected back with understanding. That reflection isn't performative. It's a mirror for your inner life, held with care and respect. Emotional resonance also fosters deeper intimacy. It allows someone to connect with the essence of who you are, not just your behavior or your image. They respond to the vibrations of your soul rather than the noise of your ego. You begin to notice that silence can be just as meaningful as conversation, because they are tuned in to the emotions that underlie everything you do. The proof of this kind of love is in the subtle ways they show up. They respond when you're struggling, often before you even articulate it. They celebrate your quiet victories and share in your hidden sorrows. They don't need to control, fix, or manipulate your emotional state. They simply resonate with it, creating a connection that feels natural, effortless, and profoundly sustaining. When someone truly connects with your emotions, you feel a sense of harmony and belonging that goes beyond attention or approval. It's a recognition of your inner world as valid, meaningful, and worthy of care. That is the essence of emotional resonance, a deep, empathetic attunement that makes you feel alive, understood, and profoundly human. True love of the soul doesn't just celebrate who you are in the moment. It encourages the person you are becoming. Someone who loves your soul sees your potential not as a measure of what you owe them, but as a reflection of your unique gifts and the fullness of your being. They don't pressure you to change for their convenience, but their presence and understanding gently challenge you to explore who you truly are beneath the habits, fears, and limitations that hold you back. This kind of encouragement often comes quietly. It's not about constant advice or unsolicited critique. Instead, it shows in the way they ask thoughtful questions that make you reflect, in the way they celebrate small steps you take toward growth, and in the way they witness your struggles without judgment. They trust that growth cannot be forced. It must arise naturally, nurtured by curiosity and self-awareness. People who are only drawn to attention want you as you are, because attention is easiest to extract from a static image. They avoid anything that might disrupt the comfort of the moment. But someone who loves your soul knows that true connection deepens as you evolve. They understand that stagnation is a slow erosion of intimacy, and they delight in seeing you stretch, experiment, and transform in your own time. Growth encouragement also means that your fears and failures are treated as part of the journey, not as reasons to withdraw love. They recognize that trying and stumbling is more meaningful than merely performing flawlessly. They support you through uncertainty, and their faith in your ability to grow creates a mirror for your own self-belief. You begin to see that your inner potential is not abstract. It is real, tangible, and worthy of exploration. Another subtle aspect of this encouragement is patience. They don't rush your evolution or impose their timeline. Instead, they remain a consistent presence, offering understanding and quiet motivation. Their support feels like soil and sunlight to a growing plant, not controlling but nourishing. Ultimately, someone who loves your soul fosters growth not out of obligation, expectation, or selfish desire. They are inspired by the unfolding of your being and find joy in witnessing the continuous discovery of who you are. This creates a bond that is alive, dynamic, and resilient, rooted in authenticity rather than superficial validation. Consistent presence is one of the most subtle yet powerful ways someone shows they love your soul. It's not flashy or dramatic. It doesn't rely on grand gestures or constant communication. Instead, it's the steady, reliable awareness that they are there for you, not when it's convenient, not only when you shine, but through the ordinary, messy, and difficult moments of life. This presence speaks louder than any words or attention-seeking acts. Someone who truly loves your soul doesn't disappear when life gets complicated. They don't retreat when you make mistakes or when your energy wanes. Their connection isn't transactional. It isn't based on what you give them or how you perform. They remain because they care about the entirety of your being, not just the version you show to please the world or to gain admiration. This kind of presence creates a profound sense of safety. You begin to feel that your highs and lows are not threats to the bond you share. When you are sad, anxious, or confused, they don't vanish or judge. When you are joyful or confident, they celebrate quietly without jealousy or competition. Their presence is a mirror, reflecting acceptance and understanding rather than expectation or performance. Consistency also nurtures trust. When someone is reliably there, you start to believe in their care on a deep, instinctive level. You don't question their intentions or wonder if your value is dependent on how entertaining or appealing you are in the moment. You feel grounded, knowing that your soul is seen and acknowledged even in silence, even in absence, because their commitment is not temporary or conditional. This presence isn't just about physical proximity, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's in the listening without distraction, the small acts of support, the patience when you take time to open up, and the empathy they show without demanding gratitude. They show up in ways that are subtle but transformative, creating a bond that feels alive and unwavering. The proof of this consistent presence is quiet, almost imperceptible, yet undeniable. It builds over time, creating a connection that withstands distance, disagreement, and uncertainty. When someone loves your soul, they are not chasing your attention. They are committed to being with you fully, steadily, and authentically, no matter what life brings. Silent understanding is one of the most profound signs that someone loves your soul. It's the ability to connect with you without needing constant words, validation, or explanations. They don't require you to perform or to justify your feelings. Instead, they sense what you're experiencing beneath the surface and respond with empathy, presence, and quiet recognition. This kind of understanding goes beyond conversation. It resonates with the essence of who you are. People who value attention over depth often demand constant feedback, affirmation, or visible signs of engagement. But someone who loves your soul reads the spaces between your words. They notice the tone of your voice, the gestures you don't intend to reveal, and even the silences you carry. They can tell when you're hurting, confused, or joyful without needing you to spell it out. This attunement creates a rare comfort, where you feel seen even when you say nothing. Silent understanding also allows you to be fully yourself without explanation or apology. You don't need to justify your moods, your fears, or your habits. They accept your inner life as it is, and their presence alone communicates acknowledgement and respect. You feel understood not because they solve your problems, but because they honor your experience, reflecting it back with patience and care. This understanding is subtle, yet transformative. It strengthens bonds more than any words could, because it touches the soul directly. You begin to notice how your emotional world doesn't need to perform for recognition. It is enough that they witness it. The calm presence of someone who truly understands encourages you to embrace yourself fully, without fear of judgment. Another important aspect is that this understanding is consistent. It doesn't fluctuate with moods or circumstances. Even in moments of conflict or tension, they remain attuned, listening with their attention focused on the core of your being rather than the surface drama. That consistency deepens trust, creating a space where you can relax, breathe, and simply exist. Silent understanding is often the proof of a love that transcends attention. It reveals itself in shared glances, in the ease of quiet companionship, and in the unspoken empathy that fills the spaces between words. When someone offers this, they are not engaging with your image or performance. They are engaging with your soul. Their love is reflected in their ability to witness you fully, to feel alongside you, and to honor your presence without needing acknowledgement in return. When someone loves your soul, you feel it in ways that words alone can't capture. It's in the quiet moments, in the patience they show, in the way they see all of you, your light, your shadows, and everything in between, and still choose to stay. It's not about constant attention or validation. It's about presence, understanding, and the deep connection that grows when someone truly witnesses who you are. This kind of love changes the way you experience yourself. It reminds you that you are worthy, not for what you show the world, but for who you are at your core. It teaches you that the truest connections aren't loud or flashy. They are steady, subtle, and profoundly sustaining. When you recognize this love, you realize that attention may come and go, but the soul's recognition lasts. Look closely at the people around you. Notice who remains when life isn't easy, who celebrates your essence rather than your achievements, and who feels connected to you even in silence. That is the love that matters, the love that transforms, nurtures, and endures.